Hello and welcome or welcome back to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff. So whether you're watching us on Rumble or YouTube, thank you. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe. If you're over on Rumble, please give it a rumble and follow. Today is going to be installment 2 of building the Bricklink Designer Series 4 set. It's called Siege Encampment, and it's also set number 910045. And it has a total of 2,598 pieces. We've done one live stream with 10 bags, and I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras so you can see that. Okay, so this is what 10 bags will get you. And you start off, you've got a half-finished wagon, which is, of course, what we're going to be working on next. But we've got that. And then we've got the stubborn piece here that keeps wanting to fall off. So I've just been putting it aside. But we've got this little tent, and it's got a tree that's been badly pruned over the years in target practice here, and a squirrel with a couple nuts. Sounds like the people I know. All right. Or the people I hang out with, I should say. But that's how it is. We've got this one little piece here. I'll set that aside. And then the next thing we've got a wagon that's kind of a miniature catapult. And it is spring-loaded. Well, not really. It's rubber-loaded. But it's got these little, I guess, ammunition pieces. And then we've got a kind of a blacksmith shop here. Now, so far, this is my favorite part. I love the anvil. I love how he has the iron or steel, whatever they are, bars there. He's got a campfire, which cool, water here. And he's got his little shop set up. And I love his pikeman weapons here. Anyway, to me, this is a great start. And like I said, that's my favorite part so far. And then we've got this little guy with potions and basically his sacrifice table. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that is. But he's got his little potions and his little herbs there. So that's what's going on there. And let's set that aside. All right. So now, I forgot this little training thing here. Put that aside too. And we're going to go ahead and bring up the instructions, and then we're just going to get building. All right. This bag number 11 is not that big. We're gonna go for a total of probably 10 bags today. So I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I'm enjoying mine. My weekend so far has been rather relaxing and peaceful, which I like. I did yesterday. I had already filmed it, but I edited my whole entire city video, which is coming out on Wednesday. So you got something to look forward to there Wednesday. And speaking of this week's video schedule, let me bring that up on the other screen here, and I'll just tell you about it. All right. So it's just taking a minute to load up. Okay. So I was mentioning this earlier that I plan on doing mornings with Chip for a couple weeks to see how it goes. So far, I feel like it's going pretty well. So we'll go ahead and continue that this week. So that means every morning, Monday through Friday, that I'm available at 11 a.m. my time. Sometimes it'll be 10:30, but typically 11. And I'm on Mountain Standard Time, by the way. We do a little segment called Mornings with Chip. And that is where usually that time of morning I'm preparing for my next shows and builds. And that's kind of what I got going on right now, is that I do that behind the scenes typically. And I figured, well, you guys probably want to know about it. You guys probably want to be involved. So I've started doing the streaming where I'm building stuff. And because I have the Ninjago set and I want to go ahead and do that, I'm putting together my other Ninjago sets. And so that's what we've been doing in the mornings. And besides those, Monday through Friday, we've got a Harbor Masters Office Review. That was from Bricklink Series 3. We finished that a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to go ahead and do a review of that. And then we've also have the city update, like I mentioned. And also coming up this week will be the Medieval Dragon, set number 31161, all 3 versions. So we will be doing that as well. So anyway, we do have some things coming up this week. And who knows, there'll be others. We're going to live stream this a couple times. Just don't know which days yet. So it's all relative, and we'll get there. Okay, so we are done with bag 11, and bag 11 allows us this right here. Hello, Hoarder. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. So bag 11 is very simple. And we'll set this aside and we'll grab the next bag. How is your Sunday morning going? How's your weekend been so far? I've actually been really busy this weekend. Been relaxing on one hand, but busy on the other. I know it's kind of an oxymoron, but I guess what I mean by that is that, oh, wait a minute, why is this? So what I've been doing this weekend is catching up on a few things that I've been wanting to do anyway. One of the things I did this weekend already was pull weeds. I had weeds in front of one of the doors to the shop that I don't use. It was almost to the top of the door. That's how bad it was. And I don't know what kind of weeds they were, but they were like the easiest weeds in the world to pull. Seriously, you just grabbed the middle of it and it just came up. A lot of weeds in this area tend to break off when you grab them, and I think that's kind of a self-destruct mode to kind of make it so that they can survive. But these ones didn't do that. Just pulled on it real hard in the middle and they snapped right out. And they were choking off my strawberries again, so I went also over my strawberries and weeded that area. And let's see, we got John here and Brett's Builds here. Awesome. How you guys doing? Like I just explained, getting things done. Spencer and I have not gotten to the what do you call that? The I cannot think. The deck. We have not gotten to the deck to put the screws down, because the last guy who owned this place, he built the deck and he took a shortcut that should never be taken. He just kind of put the boards on top of the, on top of the decking. And first of all, that decking is going to have to be replaced, the underside of it, because it feels like the wood's rotting in a few places. And I don't want it to kill 10 dogs. Like the old Jeff Foxworthy joke that you might be a redneck if your porch has killed at least 10 dogs or whatever it is. But we're going to, as a short term, because the boards, the Trex boards are not screwed down, they tend to shift because they do have little brackets, but those brackets just hold the spacing in between the two. It's not meant to keep it from sliding. And so we bought some screws to take care of that. We just need to get to it. So that's on the agenda this week too. Oh, I'm used to watching Good Morning Brick World on Sundays, but he didn't do it today. I got laundry done and cleaned up around my Lego room, and once the sun is back, the house I will paint. Yeah, you got to work with the weather, huh? I mean, I understand that, man. That's one of the reasons that I haven't got to the deck. Is that every time I think about it, the sun's directly on it, and I'm like, I don't want to be doing that. The only time the deck does not have sun on it is like the first couple hours in the morning. So, yeah, I just need to get up earlier one day and take care of it, and I will. And I've been working on the house a little bit here and there, and one of the things that I did this week was I had the insect screen up here. I have 3 windows up here, and 2 of the windows have an insect screen, so I'm missing one altogether. The other one is just messed up because, well, it's messed up, and the other one just got fixed. So this week I took it in, and they fixed her up for me, and I am very happy with the results. In fact, about 9:30 at night now, I just open that window and I let all the cool air in, and I can turn off the AC and save a bunch of money. Oh, the railings in my front, yeah. Are they? I take it they're wood. That's actually woodworking is one of my, whether it's painting, sanding. I actually like that stuff. I know I'm kind of weird, but I do like it. Know that I used to answer calls for oh, you did? That's awesome, John. I like their product, to be honest. I'm not like a huge environmentalist or anything, but I do think we should take some steps to save the planet. I just think, I'm not trying to be political, but I think currently some things are taken too far, way too far. Um, but Trex is a really good product for the environment because they just take basically scrap sawdust from sawmills and stuff, and they glue it together, and then they cover it with plastic, which is usually recycled water bottles, and that's what you get. And so it's pretty cool. So materials that otherwise would have been thrown away get saved, and they last for a long time because that plastic coating. So I'm definitely a fan of Trex. Feels like 105 with the heat index thing. I'm sorry to hear that, man. You gonna stay indoors today until late? I know. I know. I wouldn't want to go outside. I'm a wimp. All right, that's bag number 12. Now we're on 13, so let's grab that. When the dogs sleep, I sleep. Well, you must be sleeping most of the day, John. No, I'm just kidding. Enzo, man, he sleeps almost all day. Is your pup sleep a lot too? Well, I do have some news of the weird for you because it's Sunday, which means they came out with some new articles today. So we've got a few of those. And also, I want to review with you some of the new Lego sets that are coming out. There's quite a few, actually, that are coming out that I like, but we'll get to that. I don't know if I'm going to get any of them. Because I'm directing all my money towards building that giant city out there. I'm serious, guys. I'm going for the world's record, and the only way I can do that is if I focus like crazy. So that's what I'm working on. Hey, Cajun, how's it going? How was your Sunday morning going? And if we have some time, I'm also going to get to a new segment um, directly taken off of Reddit. And you guys have probably read some of them. It's the segment called Am I the Asshole? And I'll read them to you, and then we'll discuss whether we think that person is the a-hole or not. Dude, this is so awesome. I've always thought of these as cheese wedges, but now they printed the tile, look like Swiss cheese. That is awesome. I just want to do it because I've read them before, and actually, just don't tell Mrs. Chip. It's actually started a few arguments uh, because I'll read it and I'm like, definitely that person's being the a-hole, and then she's like, no, I actually think they should have done that, and it's like, I don't know about that. Anyway, it has actually started a few arguments. Um, what is more like a self-reflection? There's a new segment going on. Um, yeah, but you know something, Yeti? I think of you every time I live stream, and that's because my microphone is actually a Yeti microphone. But let's go ahead and let's read one of the first. Well, it will be the first news of the weird. Sorry, can't complete my thoughts sometimes. Okay. Okay. Max McKinney, who's 15 years old of Spooner, Wisconsin, thought he was working hard and doing the right thing. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, because we have government, nothing's ever the right thing unless they get a cut. Sorry, I'm just going to say it. Don't be political there. Thought he was doing the right thing when he built a charming fishing bait stand onto his family's farmland. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that. All right. The boy who built the shed is 6 foot by 15 foot, and he sold bait, sodas, candy to anglers heading to Spooner Lake nearby. Again, I don't see anything wrong with that. But Washburn County zoning officials shut him down after the second weekend of sales with a cease and desist order. Really, you have to give a kid a freaking legal document from a lawyer telling him cease and desist. All right, this is stupid. Oh, it's stupid already. Sorry, I don't. All right, I'm not trying to be political. I just don't like government. McKinley's grandfather, Tim Foss, gave him the blessing to build the stand. We encouraged Max. My grandson is the kind of kid the country needs more of. Who threatens a 15-year-old over selling ice cream, worms, and T-shirts? The answer is bullies and bureaucrats. Thank you. He said it, took the words right out of my mouth. McKinley has 3 other jobs. I want to be a doctor in the future, says the younger McKinley. And I'm willing to work hard and save money any which way I can. County Zoning Administrator Dale Beers, okay, that's part of the problem. He's always drunk. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know that. With no officials visited the stand or spoke to McKinney before or after the violation was issued. Age does not matter to our ordinance, Beers said. Foss filed a formal complaint in person, but officials were defensive right away, and their response was, our decision is final. And then the grandfather is quoted on the end saying, people should be disgusted by this because it doesn't pass the smell test. Well, I've heard of that too. Cops showing up to little girls' lemonade stands and stuff, and I think that's freaking ridiculous. I mean, your ordinances should include some sort of section for kids. Kids should be able to do whatever, like for that kind of stuff. Because I mean, heck, as a kid, I did lemonade stands. I freaking sold stuff. Can't imagine that being illegal. In fact, when I was a kid, there used to be a cop that patrolled our neighborhood, and he used to stop by our stand and buy from us. So, I mean, sure, I didn't get rich off of it, but I did buy a go-kart off my proceeds once, and plenty of Lego. Italian Gaming, how's it going? Oh, every time I think of Cajun Yeti, I think of poor Miss Amby. Okay, inside joke. I'm not tracking that, but all right. The other thing is, guys, Mrs. Chip is gone now. She is at her month-long training, and so we won't see her much on the channel. What we will see is me crying a lot. No, I'm just kidding. No, we won't. So, what you guys got planned for today? I mean, one person said painting. After this, I'm going to probably go back to bed. I admit that I stayed up too late last night. Cleaning the house. Well, I guess I'm going to try to say is there was no argument that had her leave. That's what I mean. Oh, I got a kitty. Who do I got? Hey, buddy. Hi, buddy. You gonna come here? Buddy. Buddy knows his name. He just likes to meow back. He doesn't like to listen otherwise. But yeah, he's a good cat, man. It's too hot to do anything. Yeah. I'm going to go buy some more airsoft for my girlfriend video. That's awesome, dude. A few loads of laundry. All right. Dishes are already done. Walked about 7,000 steps. Cool, man. Well, I'm going to go back to bed. And then when I wake up, I'm going to go to Walmart. I got to get my grocery shopping done for the week. I love living out here, but that is one of the disadvantages of living out here is that, well, you're an hour away from anything, roughly. There's one town that's 50 minutes, 50 away, but still, it's pretty far. You would like Taekwondo? Why can't I say that? All right, see you, Hoarder. Stay safe out there. I know it's warm. Okay, so we got a bunch of things that we didn't use. That's what we have, these green little hot dog things, and this here too. We didn't even use it. I must have done something wrong because I think we would have used it. No, There is nothing missing. Okay, well, it goes to the side. All right, so we're done with another bag. Let's grab the next one. Bag 14. Yeah, I am too tired. All right, I'll tell you what happened. It's the dumbest thing in the world, but it is what happened. So as a kid, my dad knew a developer, a game developer. And this is like back when I was in high school. And this developer was on the team building a game called Dungeons and Dragons Stronghold. Now, I have tried to play that game a couple different times over the years. Have not been able to, just haven't been able to find it. And I don't know why, but a couple nights ago, I went looking for it. And when I went to go looking for it, Steam actually has redone it so that it works through DOSBox and all that. And I admit, I kind of went crazy playing it, and it was up way too late playing it. And it's my first time. So, first time playing it in like probably close to 30 years. Really cool game. I mean, it's very basic. It's kind of like, John, I know you'll understand this. It's kind of like Civilization, but much like small, like more basic because computers just weren't that advanced then. But it kind of is. You build farms, you build armories, and you build housing, and yeah, it's a lot like it is a lot like Civilization. I mean, it's got its own twist because it's Dungeons and Dragons, so you have fighters, magicians, that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I know I shouldn't have played it that long, but honestly, I really like the game, so I was up playing it. I'm gonna probably have to. And Steam had it for only like $5, so I spent $5 on it. It's called Dungeons and Dragons Stronghold. That's what it's called. Oh, that is awesome, dude. Italian gaming. Man, my girlfriend finally got sponsored in her new airsoft video by a company. That is awesome. I mean, that's the way to go, dude. Yeah, I don't know how popular it was. Like I said, I didn't have to buy it back then. My dad's friend was on the development team, and yeah. So I just got a free copy of it. I remember it came on 2 floppy disks, if you remember those. And I ain't talking about the little smaller one, floppy disk. I'm talking about the actual floppy disks, the ones you could bend. I remember that, man. It's just so crazy to think that computers have come that far. And Italian Gaming says, I've been helping her set up the channel and editing. Editing is interesting because you can spend way more time editing than you do filming. That's what my video that I edited yesterday for the city was like. I've always loved these Lego turkeys, man. I think they just look so cool. You use CapCut. I've never heard of that. But then again, I am no expert when it comes to editing, man. If you can't tell when you watch my videos. What I do like is the camera that I bought came with editing software. And it's pretty decent. I mean, it has a few flukes about it, and it has a few things I don't like about it, but namely, I don't like the fact that sometimes it messes up, and it will, even though you only put the video once on your thing, it'll actually edit it in there twice and repeat itself. So you kind of have to watch your videos or run the risk that it does it, and then somebody hopefully tells you, and you can go back and cut that part out. Man, you should let me edit your videos or learn it yourself. Well, I am. I mean, I know some things about editing, but I know my editing. I know it's not that great, and it's part of it's me when I film it, because I've heard that you should naturally put pauses in every now and again, just so that it makes it easier to edit in case you want to take something out. But that's shutting my mouth is not a skill that I've mastered yet. And if Mrs. Chip was here, you'd definitely hear an affirmative from her about that. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's in there. I was going to say, couldn't find the piece, but it was hiding in the cauldron. So. Man, this is getting pretty intricate. This is going to be one of those sets you don't ever want to move. All right. How much would you charge to edit a video, like a 20-minute video? Well, I guess it's 20 minutes once it's edited, but for me, $0. Man, you're awesome. Yeah, they have this thing just sitting here, but it don't work. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, there it goes. Well, I like the idea because it'd free up a little bit of time for me. That is one of the biggest problems that I have with doing this channel, is that there's so much I want to do, but there's just never the time. And I don't care what I do, there's not ever going to be enough time. Well, I don't want you to put any personal information on here. So if you would, Italian Gaming, just send me an email at a chip off the old block toys, it's all one word, at gmail.com. And then that way, if you want to give me your email, that way you don't have to put it on the screen where everybody can see it and send you junk, because I don't want you to get a bunch of, stupid emails about Ukrainian order brides or anything like that. Of course, they have a cat hanging out at the fish market. Yep, there we go. And it looks like we are done with another bag. And we are also done with this little thing here. So let's slide this over, including her. I want to do a tribute editing for about a minute or two. My late Beagle I lost by a snake bite. Yeah, that I can understand that, John. That was pretty sad when you lost Brew. All right. Well, I do have more news of the weird for you. So let's read another one of those. Italian Gaming, if you email me at the a chip off the old block toys at gmail.com, I know that I've emailed John before, so I have his email somewhere, and if I can't find it, I'm sure he'll give it to me again. But I would be happy to kind of be the go-between there, so that personal details are not shared on here. No, it's actually it does. I don't think Gmail. I don't think Gmail cares whether it's all caps or not, but I'll check it real quick. I'll just run over here. And these computers sometimes they do whatever they want. It's all lowercase. A chip off the old block toys at gmail.com. All right. All right, let's do another news of the weird, because we've got plenty of them. Like I said, I did not read ahead this time. Just wasn't able to. Let's see. Bright idea. Looking to get a little more classical music in your life? No, not really. Just wander over the line while driving in something United Arab Emirates and listen to the stirring sounds of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, courtesy of Fujairah Fine Arts Academy. Okay. The Associated Press reported on July 7th that when drivers hit the grooves in the road, the best parts of the composition are played, especially at 60 miles an hour when the tune is just right. Academy director Ali, and that's all I'm going to try, said the project is focused on spreading the art of culture, the combination of music in our lives and normal lives. That does not make sense, but I read it exactly how he said it. He believes it's the first singing shoulder in the Arab world. Okay, well, you can have your singing shoulder. I think that's kind of lame. I wonder how much wonderful tax dollars went into that. Yeah, I understand it's not this country, but I honestly think, not trying to be political, but honestly think governments need to be more careful with their money and not spend it on stuff like that. And if there's extra, give it back to us. I mean, I didn't want to pay it to begin with, did you? So sorry, I know some people get really mad when I do political stuff or even say anything political, but that is how I feel about it, man. I work hard for my money. The last thing I want to hear is government spending my money in ways that I just don't agree with, or just wasteful in general. Of course, I think I told you I used to work for the IRS, and well, I technically still do, but anyway, when I was working for the IRS, there was a thing. We would get letters every now and again with tax returns, and I don't remember names. That's the part I can't tell you. But we used to have people try to get out of paying their taxes all the time, and it was always a crack up because it was always something dumb. And I actually had somebody send me a letter in with their thing saying, "Oh, well, we won't we won't pay our taxes because you're buying weapons of war." and we don't agree with it. And it's like, oh my gosh, shut up. I mean, because everyone, whether you like war or not, you got to admit that about one of the best ways to prevent war is just to have some weapons on hand that your enemy knows that, hey, if they try something, it's going to hurt. And I mean, it's unfortunate. And I think there's a big difference between having a weapon and using a weapon. Yes, I just quoted Gandhi. Nice videos, man, and nice dog. Yeah. I don't know what these spikes are supposed to be. I mean, are they supposed to keep? Are you supposed to line them up to keep the enemy away? I don't know. Oh, let's see that. Excuse me, guys. I'm not trying to do that. Let me get a drink. Oh, mine's all together. There's no spaces. It's a chip off the old block toys. No spaces. All under caps at gmail.com. John says, take your time. The classic tri-pattern Rue was the one I lost in January. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't read today either. Oh, you're going to a brick convention? That's awesome, dude. Yeti, I've been to brick slopes here in Utah, and I mean I had some fun there. There's a little bit of drama, which is why I didn't go back. Um, the organizers of the thing, several of them were members of a lug that didn't like my lug because my lug split off of their lug, and so they were kind of rude to us. Which I really kind of wish Lego knew about because I thought they were supposed to be all inclusive, and I didn't think that stuff was supposed to happen, but it did happen, and nothing ever happened about it. Um, so anyway, but now they're even more mad at my lug because now my lug's an official lug, recognized lug. So yeah, they really love us now. Oh, you're displaying. That is awesome, dude. I don't want to. Well, maybe privately you can tell me. So I don't want to spoil the surprise for others, but I'd love to hear what you're building, dude, or what you're displaying. If you want to share it here, I'd love to hear it. But also, if you just want to wait until the show so that nobody knows, that's cool too. Yeah, the Daily Bugle, the 7-foot tower, that was the first place I ever displayed it, was Brick Slopes, and I just lost a piece. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. It wasn't. It was. So basically, this happened even before I even joined either lug, and I will tell this story. So, I went to a lug, and I'm not going to say their name, but it's, I mean, if you know the area, it's pretty obvious which one. But anyway, I didn't say that out loud. Yeah, so I went when I first moved here about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. Yeah, I guess it is 6 years ago next month. Holy crap. So, okay, when I moved to this area 6 years ago, I went to a lug, and I went to their meeting because I wanted to test them out. I wanted to know what I'm getting myself into before I got myself into it. And when I did it, the lug, like, they were having some sort of officer choosing thing, and it was just very contentious, and there was no harmony among this group. They were just, I mean, it's probably not as bad as I remember it, but it has been a few years. They just seemed like they just couldn't get along. And I just didn't get the warm and fuzzy feeling of being in there, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm not joining this lug. And I didn't. And I actually didn't join a lug until 2 years later when I was at a different event, and it was a train event with my dad's group. And when we did that, I saw that there was a Lego group there, so I sat down and just talked to them, and they seemed like a cool bunch of people, and we got along real good, and we were instantly telling jokes, and so I felt comfortable with that group, and I joined them, and they were a break off of that group because they didn't like. Well, I'm not going to get into that. There were some things about the lug they didn't like either. The original lug I went to, their meeting, and so they split off, and they were not recognized at first. And then it took a while, but Lego eventually recognized them. I do like this, by the way. And now we're an officially recognized lug, and it's kind of backed off the nonsense from the other group. It also helps that their current president, I'm not going to say his name, so I'm not trying to get too dramatized here. Their current president is actually a really cool guy. In fact, I'm not going to say which guy, but he has actually been on one of my live streams as a guest way early on. He's a cool guy, and he doesn't play those games and all that. So relations between our lug and that lug have got a lot better. In fact, I would dare say that a lot of that stuff's gone now. But for a while there, it was just stupid because people had petty arguments with each other because, oh, well, you guys broke away from us. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, I guess we did. I mean, I didn't because I wasn't there. So leave me out of it. Oh, let me look. I don't have my Gmail open at the moment, but I'm gonna open it right now and find out. Yes, I did get your 2 emails. Awesome. Yes, I did. Thank you. I will respond. It'll be probably won't be today because, like I said, I'm gonna go to bed as soon as I'm done with this. And I'm sorry about that, but I'm just really tired. Okay, so let's. Oh, what did I do? There we go. There we go. All right. So, news of the weird: the passing parade. Patrick Winslow of Big Torch Key, Florida, celebrated his 57th birthday. Okay, so I have something to look forward to in a couple years. On July 4th, in style, around 11:30 a.m., Winslow drove to the Conch Tour train depot in Key West, left his car running with rock music blaring from the radio. He told employees that he used to work for the company and asked for a tour of the train. Oh my gosh, this guy. But then when they let him on one of the trains, he took off. The employees were confused, thinking maybe he had permission to drive the train. They were able to track Winslow with the GPS. Police found him at the southernmost point buoy, where he said he exhibited rapid speech and appeared excited. Winslow said he just borrowed the train because it was his birthday. Then they found methamphetamine pipes in his pocket and charged him with burglary, grand theft auto, and possession of drug paraphernalia. His bond is $60,000. I'm sorry, I couldn't read that. Oh my gosh, that is just. I figured drugs were involved. When they say he took off with the train, come on now. Like, who in their right mind just takes off with the train? Oh, man. I could easily say this. This world never ceases to amaze me. I love this. They've got a little miniature. You'll see this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ruin it. And they did this in the both the Lions Knight's Castle and the Mountain Fortress, where they built a miniature of. See, look, we've got a miniature little siege tower. Oh, you guys can see that. There you go. Oh, okay. I appreciate that, Cajun. I will take a look at that as well. But yeah, they did this in what do you call it? The Mountain Fortress. And the Lion's Night Castle, they did a miniature of the original Yellow Castle. So it's pretty cool. They do stuff like that. And I will actually, what the heck is going on here? I do not like when Lego does not make this crap like that clear, their instructions. Holy crap, it's hot. Well, welcome back, Hoarder. What is the temperature there, by the way? Yesterday, I'll tell you what. Yesterday was a weird day. When I was pulling weeds, it wasn't that warm outside. It was warm. It was in the 80s, but the humidity was 75%, which, if you know Idaho, you know that we do not get that warm. I mean, that it was just over the top, because I live in the Great Basin Desert. So anything above about 20, 25 is really high for us for humidity. So yeah, when we have a day of 75, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And I kind of did feel that way. But I mean, you guys, You guys live in the different areas are probably like 75. That's a light day. We're used to 100. What a wimp. You know what? Say it all you want, because I am being a wimp. I'm just not used to it. I mean, yeah. That is one thing I really loved about this place is the dang weather. The dang weather is so nice here. All right, I'm kind of wondering what we're building here. It looks like some sort of tent or something. Uh-oh. I am interested to see what this is going to look like in the end. Because it just looks like one of those circus-like tents is what it's kind of looking like to me. So, you know how I often say that I don't really like swearing on my channel too much because young kids watch my channel. Well, that is true. That is part of the reason. The other reason is the that Seinfeld episode where he teaches that kid the F word accidentally, and that's all the kid will say. And the little kid's mom's mad at Jerry because he just keeps saying the F word. Man, I'm sorry. I had to edit one of my girls' video and post it. Oh, you're fine. So yeah, I don't like swearing because I just don't want to be a bad influence on younger kids. And also, speaking of being a bad influence on younger kids, I already have experience with that. When Mrs. Chip and I were just married, maybe about 3-4 years, I was at the grocery store with her and my daughter, and my little daughter kept saying, "Mom, Mom," and Mrs. Chip was preoccupied, and she wasn't really listening. And all of a sudden, my little daughter, sitting in the basket of the cart, goes like this. She snaps her fingers. She goes, "Get over here, damn it." And my wife looked at me and she said, "You're dead." And I knew that I would be dead by the end of the day because, it's not cool to teach your kids that kind of stuff. Pitching tents, I don't know, man. When Mrs. Chip's around, there's a lot of pitching tents, but that's all I know. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. Dude, I just told myself I wasn't going to do that, and I just did it. I messed up this build again. Let me fix this. So, yeah. There we go. So you can see kind of where it's starting to take the outline of a tent. Oh, you're fine, dude. I don't care. Those kind of jokes, I like them. In fact, I was watching this. I saw this meme yesterday where this lady calls this guy and says, "I'm really sorry, honey. I want you back. I miss you." And the guy says, "Sorry, I don't date women with children." She says, "But they're your children." And he hangs up. When's the next Avengers Tower video? That's a good question. I really don't know at this point. I started working on it, and then I stopped working on it, and then I started working on it, and then I stopped working on it. And because of the nature of what I'm working on right now, the elevator, I'm probably going to need parts, and I haven't gotten far enough to know what parts I'm going to need. So at the soonest, it'd be 2 weeks, the soonest. But let me see if I can take some time this week and do a little bit better on that. Because I do think I owe you guys that. I mean, I started the project, and whether I really want to do it or not, I need to finish it. And yeah, so I'll work on it this week. I'll see if my friend Brent is available. My friend Brent has offered to help me with the Avengers Tower. So probably something I need. Yeah, that is something I need to get to. And by the way, I love this tile right here with the little, like, I don't know what these are, snakes. Because I remember, I don't know if they came out before this, but the first time I remember it was on the Green Grocer, one of the modulars. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to go on here. Oh, sorry, let me say it again. For some reason it doesn't want to go on here. Why does it not? This is weird, man. It does not. I mean, I've got it built right, and it just doesn't want to go on there. No, it doesn't. It doesn't want to go on there. Well, that's why. Yep, because that's how we do it. We just throw pieces at ourselves. All right. Let's get her done. All right. Well, that's my bad. I didn't catch I was supposed to put a plate underneath it. It'll probably snap right in now. Yep, it does. All right, the other piece fell on the floor, which, there it is. Now, I'll tell you what, it is getting hot up in here. And I got the AC even going, and it's still hot. Not cool. Not cool. Ha ha ha. Yes, not cool. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's hot. But no, I got to go to Walmart. I got to do my grocery shopping for the week. I typically only go once a week because it's almost an hour away. Let's do another News of the Weird, by the way. I'm sure we got one. Okay, this one is called Unclear on the Concept, and it happened in Hiram, Utah, which is not terribly far from me. I don't live in Utah, but I live on the border with Utah. So, all right. Here is a little tip for Jesse Lawrence Hale, 46, of Hiram, Utah. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure I can even read that. Okay. I'm going to have to use code words here because I do not want to get kicked off of YouTube. Okay, here's a little tip for Jesse Lawrence Hale, 46, of Hiram, Utah. Don't make a certain kind of porn pictures that can land you in jail. If you know what I mean, underage stuff. Don't make that your lock screen on your phone. Hale was a patient at Logan Regional Hospital last week. Yep, Logan Regional Hospital is where I had that throat surgery done back in April, by the way, guys. Or was it March? So yeah, I told you, Hiram's not that far from me. On July 3rd, when he checked out, he forgot his mobile phone and left it at the hospital. On July 3rd, staff at the hospital contacted Logan City Police to say they'd seen a pornographic photo of a young child on the screen. On July 7th, Hale went to the police to inquire about the phone. He said the photo had been sent to him and he had not deleted it. Yeah, the only problem with that, dude, is that you have to set what your lock screen thing is. So not only was it sent to you, you meant to keep it because how it ended up on your phone. On July 7th, he went to the police to inquire about the phone. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I read that. Hale told officers it'd be nice to pay a fine or to take a class rather than going to jail. Oh my gosh. And this guy's entitled too. Oh man. No. Lock him up. That is disgusting. He wanted to take the class or pay a fine because he didn't feel like he would survive in prison. Yeah, no crap. Prisoners don't like people like you. I mean, we've all heard stories, right? With a search warrant, police found 19 more photos of the same kind on his phone, and they arrested him on felony charges. He asked him not to tell his mom. He's 46 years old. And you're still worried about what mom thinks? He is being held without bail. Good. Glad to hear that. I wish they'd hold more people without bail. That is gross. John says he went to grocery shopping yesterday. Okay. And you feel like you're done for the week? You're good for the week? I got to go to Wally World too. Yes, you know something. I call it that too, Wally World. And also, the other thing I do too is that there's the Prince song "Raspberry Beret," and he talks about how this beautiful girl, she walked in through the outdoor, and I always say she had to be a Walmart shopper because every time I go to Walmart, these people, every single time, they walk out. They walk into the store through the exit door and they do the opposite. It is so dumb. I don't get it. I'm liking this tent. But I just have a question though. If someone says that somebody ran through their, or they run through their campground, that's not correct because it should be past tense. That's what I always thought. Oh, jeez. You guys have probably heard this because it's part of a, I don't know why this comes to my mind. It's a rap song. I don't remember which rap song, where it's like the guy in the beginning, he's like, yeah, that blind guy walks past the fish market and he says, "Good morning, ladies." But yes, this tent is coming along, in my opinion, quite a bit. So, and don't forget, tomorrow we do have Mornings with Chip. Tomorrow we're going to continue working on that Ninjago City Markets. That's set number 71799. There we go. Afro-Match. That's what it was. Thank you, sir. I knew somebody would know. Yes. That's just been so long since I listened to that, I forgot. It's been too long. Well, we got one more bag after this one, and then I'm going to call it a morning because I'm going to go back to bed. I don't know. But yeah, the moral of the story is if you have a live stream the next morning, don't stay up playing stupid games. And I have not played games in, oh my gosh, I don't really play computer games that much anymore. So I think that's why I just I found that old game that I liked playing as a kid, and that was all she wrote. I have his album. Okay, cool, man. Do you know when that was released? Because I remember that being like, I remember that being something that's really old now. I mean, because I don't remember when it came out. And speaking of older things, one of the other songs I really, really like that's old as heck is I Got Five on It. And also there's Warren G. Regulate. There's quite a bit of older songs. I like a lot of Dr. Dre. Eazy-E, not so much, but some of his stuff I did like. It was sad how he passed away, though. He died of AIDS, and he didn't even realize he was sick until I think he died within a month of the diagnosis, or pretty close. It was very fast. He just went to the hospital for a nasty cough, and the next thing he knew, he was diagnosed and didn't make it. Yes, regulators mount up. 2000 is 20. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Yo, I love Warren G. Regulate. Of course, because I live so close to Utah, I will tell you this right here. So, oh boy, I'm gonna reveal some things about myself. Okay, so I live really close to Mormon country. In fact, this is Mormon country, and here in Mormon country, there are some splinter groups off the LDS Church, which, by the way, don't worry about it. I don't belong to it or anything, but it one of the splinter groups is called the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as the FLDS Church. And their leader, before he was thrown in jail for some of the stuff that guy had on his phone, if you know what I mean, I was talking about earlier, and some other things he was put in jail for. Well, basically, his name is Warren J instead of Warren G. And so I thought it would be funny to start making up a, what do you call that? A spoof song, kind of like a Weird Al type song of regulators mount up, because they have, he says Warren G, and I put in my song Warren J, and I was not very kind. I do like it though. Maybe I should polish it up a little bit. But while I was doing it, my friend asked ChatGPT to come up with his own its own version of it, and it did within 30 seconds, and it was hilarious because it was making fun of some historical things that are happening and put it in a rap lyric. So anyway, and you're saying there's a conspiracy about Eazy-E and how he died. Yeah, Tupac. Yeah, definitely. I can't remember which video I was watching, but Tupac was in there for like 2 seconds, and it wasn't Tupac himself, one of his songs. I did hear that within the last year there's been an arrest related to Tupac's murder. And I know some people out there say he's still out there. And look, I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other. Yeah, Eazy-E, though, he died of AIDS, I thought. So, do they feel like that was purposely given to him, or what's the conspiracy on that? Because I don't know. Well, I know the conspiracy around Tupac's murder. A lot of people say that it was done by someone close to him. Who sings Sugar had something to do. Oh, okay. All right. So the tent is done, and I do like the tent quite a bit. And it's got a sticker with the schematics for a not a catapult, the other one, trebuchet. And I think just by looking at this, that's what we're building next. Is the trebuchet. And I don't know if I said that right. I'm not French. Cleaning my office today, just the debris field. The debris field, what happened, bud? When you say debris field, you make me think that something serious happened. John says I have to get a chew-proof leash. Kate just said it's all rumor and it's not factual before I even say this, because I don't want this coming back. Yeah, I mean, oh, they injected him with AIDS and something else to wear that would have attacked his immune system. You know, I mean, I don't know either. I wasn't there, but it's really okay. I struggle with conspiracy theories anymore because growing up, I always thought conspiracy theories. I always thought people were nuts for believing it. I'm being serious. I did. I just thought they were nuts. But now that I've gotten older and I've seen a lot of stuff happen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really think conspiracy theories are all that nuts anymore. So I'm not saying that I think it's true or anything. I'm just saying I can't dismiss it right away because of the many things that I've come to know in life. The guy admitted he killed Tupac, and he was arrested for it. He was the leader of the Crips. Okay. Well, I'd heard they made an arrest in it, in the killing, which I was glad to hear that because look, I mean, it's not like I was ever a Tupac fan because I mean, I know what he looks like. I didn't hate him or anything. I just didn't know him. But it doesn't matter whether I know someone or not. To me, life is sacred, and you shouldn't take another's life. I mean, I understand that there are, going to be wars and stuff. I don't really like wars, and I think that those are dumb. But I do understand they're necessary from time to time. And one thing that I will say this: when I was a missionary, and I was a missionary earlier in my life, we came across the Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witness was like, "Yeah, we don't believe in serving in the armed forces." And seeing that I grew up in a military family, I was kind of like, "Really? Why not?" And he's like, "Oh, because God doesn't sanction the killing. He doesn't sanction war and all this." And I was like, "You read the Bible, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You didn't hear about the children of Israel being told to basically God authorized them to do genocide of the people that were living there so they could have their own land? You don't remember that?" So I don't know. And again, I'm not saying genocide is right. This is historical context. That's what's in the Bible. Watch this. YouTube's going to strike this for community standards. Just for me saying that, referring to the Bible. Anyway. That's why it's conspiracy theory, because it hasn't been proven until proven otherwise. Yeah, no, I got you on that. And I think that's the right way to put it, is that it's conspiracy theory until it's proven. But then what I don't like, and I'm not saying you do this, I'm saying in general, I have friends online that are just off their freaking rockers. And, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, conspiracy theory." And then it's proven true. And they never come back and say, "Oh, well, you were right." They just can't wait for the next thing to come out and then do the same thing. "Oh, it's a conspiracy theory." And it's like, dude, you've been proven wrong, so shut your mouth. Take a piece of humble pie. Eat it slow. Okay. John says, "I might go to a local pet store and see what they have. It's an independent pet store, so it'll be a little pricey, but I don't want to drive out of my way." Well, John, I live in this small town, and even though it is more expensive sometimes, I try to shop local just because by shopping local, I am literally supporting my neighbors. And yeah, sometimes it does cost more, but I'm kind of, the grocery shopping's a different story because that's not locally owned anymore. That got bought out by a company, and that I don't care about. I go to Walmart because it costs me a lot less to shop there. But other than that, I do shop right here in town. Ooh, I forgot. I skipped a step. I gotta stop doing that. And let's see. Yeti says, I lost a lot of documentaries on Easy E, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tupac. The funny thing about the person who killed Tupac, he admitted it in the interview on national television. Yeah, what an idiot. Seriously? You don't think they're going to catch up to you on that? That is pretty dumb. Me too, Yeti. I'm a Bible thumper too. I mean, I don't typically talk about it too much anymore, but I know the Bible pretty dang well. I've read it a couple times. And I don't mean just a verse or two. I mean like reading the book, the whole thing. Because that always bothers me when people... Okay, I'm just going to say this. I don't like when atheists use the Bible and quote it to me as a Christian, because they do it in judgment of me when they themselves don't believe in it and will never hold themselves to it. So it's like, shut your mouth. No one wants to hear it. Shut your mouth. You know what's really funny? They actually have me have a different color piece on here, but they didn't provide that piece. So, okay. It's not going to happen. I kind of figured that was going to happen. Oh. It was just too weak. And that's one thing about these Lego builds that I don't like, is that Legos do tend to be weak, and they do tend to fall apart very easily. Oh, you had to give your cockatoo a bath? Well, how does your bird handle that? Because I know my cats don't handle it. My cats want to kill me when I try to give them a bath. I gave it up for Lent. Speaking of the Bible, I gave it up for Lent. I'm just kidding. Lent's over, long over. All right, guys. So this is where we're going to stop here, and this is bag number 20. So next will be 21. There are close to 40 bags, so we've got 2 more of these, and then we'll be done. So if you would, hit that like button and subscribe, and check and make sure you still subscribe. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. Be good to each other and stay safe out there. And I'll catch you on the next one.